Hi everybody. Hi. Today, instead of sharing my experience with you, or just talking about what I used to do, what I have done, I would like to make some comments about the state of the industry. So once in a while, I guess at the important junctures, I will do something like this, because there's a lot of stuff going on. I don't need to repeat them, but you know what's been going on, and it's tough time. And I sit on the board of 10-ish projects, companies, and I'm advising 3 to 4 VCs, and I'm starting to see some pattern emerging. And I think it's noteworthy that I share some of my insights, or what I think, what's a new course of action with you guys. I always try to bring value to you, and thank you for following my channel, watch my video. As you can tell, this is very crude. This is my iPhone, and I don't do any post-production. And this is very sort of ad hoc, so bear with me. Just pay attention to the content, and don't pay attention to the production value of my episodes. Besides, I've never done this before, so this is my first time. I'm doing my best to provide, to bring value to you, because I want you to do well. And I don't see a lot of likes, and I don't see a lot of views, and I certainly don't see any comments. So don't be shy. Leave your comments, your questions, or requests in the comments area below. And I do appreciate it if you can give me throw a few likes my way. That will help the algorithm for bringing more traffic to this. This channel is primarily for industry professionals. It's not for the laymen. So I do apologize for focusing on the professionals, but that's what this channel is about. And maybe in the future I will create other content by setting up other channels. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is it's my personal assessment that the crypto VCs have stopped investing. How do I know? That's my observation. If you're engaging in crypto VCs that are not telling you no, ask them when did they close the last deal and the deal size. A lot of them have stopped. So don't be, I appreciate entrepreneurs are optimistic, but I was an entrepreneur before, and there's a point where you cross the line and you become delusional. So it's time to be realistic. And if the VCs are dragging their feet, you have to see the writing on the wall, right? And I don't encourage you to be angry, or try to artificially create this FOMO with the VCs. I don't think that's the best tactic. I believe the best tactic is to be straightforward, and you don't have to review your weakness, but you don't need to do too much posturing. I think you know what I'm saying. So VCs have stopped, and I still see strategic investments happening. Strategic investors are still investing for product acquisition reasons, or for publishing, for acquiring publishing rights. So WeMade is investing. Obviously, they're a web3 game publisher. So the condition of getting their investment is that the first 6 months you may be exclusive on their platform in Korea. I'm not sure if it's in Korea or global, but WeMade, as far as I know, is not really strong for global publishing, but they're very strong in Korea. And that may be good enough. And product acquisition, obviously, there's not a lot of Web3, good Web3 games in the market. So there will be companies, publishers, or launchpads. They will, spend money to invest to secure the product pipeline. So you have to have MVP. I'm afraid if you don't have MVPs right now, it's a tough market out there. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's fairly hard. Yeah, I would say my visibility is about 8 to 10 VCs. Yeah, so that's my assessment. And some Web3 game projects are on hold or on freeze or in cryogenic chamber or whatever you call it. And some projects are considering turning back to Web2 games because at least there's an addressable market. They can put it on the app stores or Steam and generate income. You know, that's not a bad solution, you know, so at least you have a fallback position. So again, still, you know, make sure your products are good, high quality, and take your time, don't rush it. And if your budget is, your capital is running out, I would suggest reduce the team size and just, you know, preserve your oxygen and take longer to finish the game. But, you know, that's what I would do. Okay, and so next point is face the reality now and don't be nostalgic about the good old times. That's not coming back. And even if it does, you cannot just expecting that now. What I think you should be doing right now is you should work hard and create good memories now. Like your team work well together, you stick together. So in the future, you have something to be nostalgic about. So focus on the now. What can you do now? And focus on the tasks at hand. And maybe a year later, you'll be very thankful that you're working hard now. So if you're nostalgic about a year ago, 2 years ago, the good times, that's a waste of time, okay? So focus on what you can do now. What are your options? What are your real options right now? Not the fantasized options or fantasy options. Don't be delusional. The next point is, I don't think there are more low-hanging fruits. Some projects look around for easy pickings. I don't think they're low-hanging fruits anymore. And if it's too good to be true, you know, maybe it's too good to be true. I would say start planting fruit trees. You know, I'm not saying do everything from scratch, but I would say there are no low-hanging fruits. So start working on the fundamentals. You know, if you're doing a Web3 projects, make sure it's a good game, you know, to begin with. Make sure it's a good game. Don't stress so much about the infrastructure. It's retarded. You know, if you make video games, do you care about which hard drive you make or which CD or which cloud service? You're focusing on the wrong thing. Games are supposed to be high quality. They're supposed to be fun. Not necessarily which blockchain you use. I'm not saying that's not important. I'm saying that's not important now. So SDKs, you know, launchpads, blockchains. Yeah, you know, it's really important. Yeah, let me talk about that now. It's very important that you focus on the right thing and ignore the rest. I see a lot of people, successful people, as well as not so successful people. The difference is, you know, where are you focusing on? If you focus on the wrong thing, you could be spinning your wheels. So learn to ignore things. We are being information, you know, overloaded all the time. It's important that you decide you don't care about certain things, okay? Because you have to, you don't have 80 hours a day. I work as long as I can. I work in average more than 12 hours a day. And I take care of my body, I sleep well, and I try to exercise as much as I can. But there's only so much time I have. So I have to focus on what's important. What's important, you know, not the useless stuff. So, focus on the product. You can make money with good product. Maybe I should elaborate on that. People may say, what do you mean planting trees? Okay. I think the best kind of games for Web3 is MMOG. And MMOGs are very expensive to make, and it takes a long time. It's not unreasonable to say 3 to 5 years, $20 million. It's not. And so that may be too out of reach for a lot of developers. So, in case you didn't know, I spent my last 10 years doing business development. So I licensed over 50 games all over the world, from all over the world, every continent, every country, Latin America, North America, Canada, United States, Eastern Europe, Finland, Denmark, Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, name it, Australia. So I've been doing a lot of this. You don't have to make games to publish games, all right? So I was a developer, I was a programmer. So I appreciate the craftsmanship of making fine games. But that's not the only way to skin the cat. In project management, we have a saying that a good project manager will beg, steal, and borrow resources to ensure the success of the project. So imagine a CEO as a project manager. Yes, your games don't have to come from your own team. You don't have to make your own game. You don't have to write every line of code yourself or by your team. Again, beg, steal, and borrow. There are a lot of source code out there. There are a lot of assets out there, a lot of engines out there. You don't need to do everything from scratch. It's important what the players will experience in the end. All right, so I attempt to digress a little bit. Okay, I did a poll about a week ago about what do you think of blockchain? A, it's cool. B, it's the foundation of Web3. C, you can replace it with centralized tech. D, I hate blockchain. So it's interesting. A and B, that in favor of blockchain, it's about 59%. And so A is 17%, B is 42%, C is 23%. So a lot of people, especially with technical background, they're saying you can replace any decentralized tech with centralized tech. I'm not saying I agree, but that's 23%. That's pretty high there. So they're not getting the spirit of decentralization. It's not just tech. And D, 17%, I hate blockchain. So, you're still looking at 39% of people who don't disagree with blockchain and decentralization. You need to be aware of the market sentiment. Don't be in an echo chamber. All right, the next poll, I think I did this 2 weeks ago. What do you think of NFT? So A, it says, I hate it, 48%. B, I like it, but I like it with fair launch, meaning no NFT pre-sales. You sell a whole bunch of NFTs, then the game never ships. What the heck, right? Or you ship the game a year later. And what do people do with those NFTs in the meantime? We're not in that market anymore. It's different. So 13% says fair launch. Obviously you have to understand what's fair launch before you vote for it. C, player-to-player trading. So that's my personal pet peeve. I believe in player-to-player trading. You don't give money to players for them to come to the game and stay in the game. Oh, run through these quests, and you get whatever tokens. Video game makers don't pay players to play their games. Okay, D for video games. So NFT is cool if it's for video games. I guess they don't like JPEG NFTs. All right, so that's mostly against it, or they're for it if it's done in a certain way. All right, Nike just announced their digital collectables, and they don't call it NFT anymore. So maybe they see the writings on the wall. All right, thank you. Let me know if you have any questions. Take care.